Welcome to Sissinghurst Castle in Kent, famously home to the writer Vita Sackville-West, who was of course Virginia Woolf's lover. But that is not why we are here. We are here because she was an extraordinary gardener who, along with her husband Harold, created one of the most spectacular gardens in England. This is ridiculously picturesque. It's like a storybook. Do you think this is going to give us inspiration for Lalande?
Well, you can always take certain parts of it with you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I can't get over the beauty of it. Oh, is that digitalis?
Yes.
Yes! See, I'm learning.
But you're very charming.
You've changed me, Davy. I also like the nonchalantly planted spade. Just looks good, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. Maybe it's just the handle.
Make it look as though someone's just been working. Can we go and look at that clematis? I'm so excited about it. What a beautiful plant. Have you seen the size of the flower?
They're very big, yes.
Massive. I would love to source that. I just love the size of the flower. One of them looks like a dinner plate.
I'm quite surprised it's one of the varieties that has single and half double flowers. Usually it's either or.
Yes, no, it's glorious. And peonies, I wish we could see those open. I love peonies so much. And irises. It's a really nice mixture. So is this what is called a herbaceous border?
This is one of the examples of what you would call an herbaceous border, but it's quite a small one. A lot of people understand a herbaceous border, the really big and long borders they use in large country gardens.
Well, let's go and see some more, maybe some bigger ones.
Yeah.
On our way here, Davy was telling me that Sissinghurst is famous as the garden of herbaceous borders, and that sadly they are one of the most difficult things to maintain in a garden.
That's the perfect example.
Okay, that's a proper herbaceous border.
It doesn't only take quite a lot of weeding to keep them looking nice in spring and fall, but you need to maintain the planting groups throughout the years because the plants don't grow for a lot of years in the same spot.
Yes.
So they need to be dug up, they need to be split, they need to be replanted, and that takes a lot of manpower. So borders like this, they could take up to a month in March or in October, November for an entire gardening team to take everything out, to split them up, to re-fertilize the soil, put compost back in, and then put the plants all back into the ground for the next season.
So yes, we are very lucky. We do have a fair few gardeners now, but I'm not sure we have that sort of manpower yet.
No. It is on one side the perfect opportunity to replace stuff when plants aren't doing very well, or when you want to rejig the balance of one color to another. This is the purple border, as they call it on the map, because of the color, obviously. This isn't specifically a purple flower, but it does go with the other purple flowers really well. It's a wild rose, Rosa rugosa. The original Rosa rugosa, the true species, it has a single flower. This one has a double one, so it's obviously been specifically cultivated or chosen or picked from different seedlings.
It's very, very pretty. And the tower you could see just behind Davy was the tower that Vita Sackville-West used to do all of her writing in. And in her writings, she talks about how she would always have a potted flower, a different one each time, on the desk in front of her, so that she could really see each petal unfurl and study each flower, each different variety. And in her book, she also talks about using stone troughs like this as planters, so that you can see things at eye level.
Oh!
It's lovely, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Such a nice idea, because you see plants in a totally different way when they're up close, especially for you, Dave. This is probably the first time you've seen a plant this close.
Without bending down, yes.
The irises look great in them too.
Yeah, that's true. They will probably do a bit better than the other species over there because they can cope with drier soil more easily.
Yes.
Because the soil isn't that deep. They do well in most positions, as long as the rhizomes can be baked in the sun, otherwise they don't produce any flowers.
And are they called bearded because of these little bits here?
Yeah, correct.
Lovely.
Yeah. They're to entice the bees to crawl into the flower, and then all the pollen just sticks to their legs, and then they fly off to the next flower and they pollinate.
Nature is ingenious.
Yes.
Well, I think we should copy this idea on the terrace. It's exactly the right style for Lalande.
And I do think troughs like that are relatively easy to source.
For a start,
yards.
I think we have a couple lying around, and plus we can easily find them in reclamation yards and have them going along the terrace like that.
Yeah.
There's more troughs along here. And they're all different sizes. And I like the gravel below them as well. Aren't these lovely? Oh, and look, they've used mulch. We love mulch. They almost look like little people at a party. We've just walked under the tower. Now we're going to pop here down into another garden, which is the garden number 6. We are going to the rose garden. Well, that seems right. Fitting start. Funny, because we've actually spotted quite a lot of roses on the way.
Oh, already, yes.
These. Davy, look, this is the pond I was telling you about.
Oh, lovely.
I sat here for ages when I came here on my own.
Oh, you can walk in between.
Yes, so you can walk along here and then just sit by the border. And I sat there with a good book by myself for absolutely ages. I love the sound.
That's a spectacular fern.
Osmunda regalis. It is spectacular. And again, planters in the garden. This is so pretty. I love this spot because it feels, although it's in the really in the corner of a huge open area,
Yeah,
it feels hidden, totally secluded.
Yeah.
I love the little stone path just through the box hedge. It makes the gardens feel much more secret. The fact that it's a tiny, tiny part, just to show you how narrow it is. I can barely fit. Just glimpse the pond as we're walking along. And then we get to go under this idyllic ancient brick archway. Oh, look what I see, Davy. A statue.
Oh dear, a statue.
David must be thinking they were doing so well and they've just let themselves down now in the garden.
This is actually a good placement for a statue. You have a structure that gives you a sight line to a specific spot, and then you give that an endpoint with a statue.
But to be fair, I think we're dreaming the same dream then, because that's also how I prefer them. Definitely. Davy and I are just discussing this area, which I really like. It's just a circle and there's a different garden to each side. So each area of the four corners of the compass, if you like, 4 points of the compass, go to a different garden. But we're saying it would be nice if there was something in the middle of it, like a fountain.
Yeah.
Would make a lot of sense of the space. But
bring a bit of interest.
I love the glimpses into the garden rooms. Well, let's get into the rose garden, which is, I think, the one round here.
I think they're all the rose garden.
Oh, I cannot believe the beauty of this.
Yes, definitely all the rose garden.
Oh,
It's really nice how they've interplanted with different kinds of perennials in between the roses.
I love it. I really like the alliums with the roses.
Yeah. Oh, and the scent.
It is like walking into a perfume shop, a very delicate, exclusive perfume shop.
And look at the size of those clematis.
They're even bigger. They are. I feel like crying. It's so beautiful. I'd imagine when those peonies come out over here.
Yeah, that will be quite spectacular.
There's all these little pathways in.
It is all very bijou.
I don't know how people have the vision to put everything together like this. Oh, I've spotted a bearded iris.
Yes, this is a tall.
That's a fig, isn't it? On that wall.
Against the wall, yeah.
I love the pattern of the bark against the wall. That must look great even in winter when there's no leaves.
Or the shape of the branches, yeah.
Yes, that's it. The shape of the branches as they've twisted it against the wall. It's nice because using those trellises, I think, makes it feel as though they're actually part of the plant.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing man-made, even though I can't imagine a much more manicured garden. It doesn't look like one.
No, there aren't many weeds in between the actual plants that are allowed to grow.
When the French manicure a garden, you can tell that it's all made by man. This looks as though it could have been made by some kind of fairy king.
Yeah.
And no man has had any hand in the actual creation of it. This is really interesting, Davy, the division between the formal manicured garden and the wilderness, because I always find that a really fascinating division.
Yeah.
And I like that, which I suspect didn't happen purely by chance, that amount. Is it cow parsley out there?
Yeah. It's the same as the white flowers in the border itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's nice because it draws the eye through, even though it looks wild, it somehow joins it all together.
And it makes it a connection between the two separate
Definitely.
parts, yeah.
That's very, very cleverly done. You can't really walk in the garden because it's all border. I mean, it's very bold to make a garden that is 99.9% border and 0.1% path.
Which leads to the lime walk.
Oh, that's what we've planted.
Yes.
Davy, that's what we have planted around the courtyard in Lalande. I've never seen them at sort of full size like this, so I could only imagine what you meant.
Well, these are probably 30 years old, judging by the size of the stems. Should reach juvenile state by 2030, something like that.
So quite soon.
Yeah. Lime trees are relatively quick.
By my mid-50s, we'll see it looking beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
Gosh, that's really inspiring.
And the main thing about lime walks like this is that you can remove all secondary structures.
That's a key point, that at Lalande we'll be able to remove all of the structure eventually, but it's a long wait until we can.
Yeah, the mid of the next decade, 2035, something like that.
So we only need to live with the structure for 12 to 13 years. Brilliant. I love your timescales. Love it.
Yeah, well, that's the difference between architecture and landscape architecture. When you build a house, it's finished, and a garden is never finished.
We lost Philip completely, and there he's waving. Someone else is waving too. That's lovely. There's no phone reception whatsoever. So we thought, well, we're never going to see Philip again. We've lost him totally. And he had the brilliant idea of going to the very top of the tower and seeing if he could spot us. He's just been waving. You are a genius for going up to the top of the tower.
Thank you.
We kept trying to call you and nothing was going
I
through.
tried to call you too, but
Yeah.
Favorite colors over there?
This is such a yellow garden.
Yeah.
With bits of red and orange as well.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't we have yellow lupins? We have those lovely, lovely purple ones, which
Yeah.
are beautiful, but we should add some yellow ones too. I didn't know they came in yellow. I'm on a really steep learning curve with gardens.
I think it's actually one of the original colors of this original lupin species.
It's delightful.
Yeah.
And here, these I love. Like giant poppies.
Yeah. Oriental poppies.
It's the most beautiful cottage, and we were just chatting to the man who's looking after it, and he said that in the plant room, there's a flower room, Vita Sackville-West would bring in all of the struggling plants that weren't doing very well, and she would try to revive them, but when she couldn't and they were beyond help, she would add their plant label to a box that she called the Box of the Dead. And that was very clever because it meant she knew what she'd already tried in the garden and what didn't do well with these conditions. And also there was an extract from a letter that Harold wrote to his wife Vita saying, the thing about your gardening is that you are courageous. You have the courage to remove ugly or unsuitable plants, and not many gardeners do that, so they will just leave a plant just because it's thriving, but it might not be right for that spot. And thinking about it, exactly the same thing is true of interiors, and it's not because a sofa has always been there that one needs to keep it so.
I like the floor ivy.
Oh, me too.
Ivy? What's it called?
It's just ivy. That grows on the floor.
Does it keep trying to grow up the tree and just get stopped?
It will, yes. It needs to be taken off.
It's very pretty on the floor.
Yeah.
It can be used as a ground cover very easily because it grows practically everywhere.
Wonderful.
Unless except for in full sun. Doesn't do well in full sun.
And behind you is Rose eglanteria. So is that the rose Shakespeare is referring to when he speaks of eglantine?
That's one of the original climbing roses, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I love the shapes that they made with them.
Yes. Isn't that glorious? What a way of training it.
Well, it's actually a way to encourage more side shoots, so then you end up with more flowers.
Oh.
If you train a branch straight up, the plant just
Yes.
wants to grow further up.
It's so
But by
clever.
training it into side, it creates more side shoots to grow up.
Well, then let's do that back at Lalande. We can easily do that with the roses I planted many years ago on the walls of the walled garden.
Yeah,
and they went straight up, and then you couldn't really see the roses because they were all on top of the wall.
No,
so we could
true.
try and train them back like this.
Yeah, that would be really easy.
What's this, Davy? This is very extraordinary.
I think it's a species, a type of echinacea. I'm not 100% sure.
I love those spindly petals.
Yeah, that's a lot of you.
That's another excellent use of something at the end of an alleyway.
We can walk through it because at the end we come to the next garden, which is the white garden.
That will give us ideas for the chapel garden.
Yes, it will.
I think Davy's starting to come round to statues. Oh, so this way, that way is to the wild area.
Yeah.
Lovely meadow, beautiful trees. Is that an orchard? They look like apples or something.
Yeah, I think they're all fruit trees. Yes.
And the other way, we head into the white garden. This has a more maze-like feel to it, the way the box is done.
I don't want to count how many linear meters of box are in this.
Shapes are very beautiful. Look at that. With the central
I
one.
love that.
Yeah.
I love the structure in the middle. We've been talking about that, haven't we, Davy? Getting structures like that into the garden. Oh, but look at this side of the garden.
Yeah, this is really
Oh,
heavily flowering at the moment. I really like the white alliums as well.
I hadn't seen white alliums before.
No?
No.
I think it's a perfect example of being able to repeat the same type of plant throughout a garden without it
Yes.
looking the same.
Yes.
Because we've seen all these different species in other colors, but it always looks different.
Which brings us back to the dead box, because she worked out what works.
Yeah,
And once
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what works, get it in different colours and keep using it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What a lovely bench. Gosh, it's just growing out of a hedge. That is so clever. I love it. It makes it look like a sofa.
Yes.
You join me on the sofa. We found a hedge sofa. How clever is this?
It's very fun.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant. Davy, you're asking the viewers for help.
Yes. That's a plant I have no idea what it is.
Okay, emergency viewer help, much needed.
Covered in buds, so it's going to be
Yes,
spectacular.
what could
in
this
a week,
be?
But I have never seen it before. I'm wondering what those trees are.
They're a lovely soft grey. Grey-green.
It's a fruit, but
Could it be a medlar?
it's a very dusky leaf. Especially the new shoots, they're hairy.
I hope that our pergola is so lovely in future with nice places to sit underneath it. That's ever so nice. Stone supports, that's lovely. We need to spend a lot more time in architectural reclaim yards. Oh gosh, this is very different. Very different.
Well, maybe that's why.
Is this Delos?
Delos,
It
yeah.
does feel as though we're suddenly in ancient Greece. I was not expecting this as we rounded the corner.
The building reminds us that we're in England.
Yes! Yeah, the building definitely couldn't be ancient Greece. And yet here, with this little path leading to this building, they've almost managed to give it the feel of an English cottage garden, even though that's not those plants at all. Oh yes, it's even ruins. But what an extraordinary planting scheme.
Well, they always say rock gardens are out, but this doesn't look very out.
This looks very much in.
It's beautiful. Look at that leaf.
That's a pink dianthus. I like the rocks. You've got a lot of rocks at Lalande.
Yeah.
Is this not needing
as
much
much.
water at all?
No.
How lovely.
Almost all the plants here will do well in dry seasons without any water.
Davy, you have to admit that's the best statue placement yet.
I honestly didn't see it.
Hang
That's
on,
probably why it's his favourite.
Davy.
I was just looking at the...
I know it. I remember from last time I was here that it's hazelnut trees.
Yeah.
It looks like a church, you know, with like a vaulted
It does.
ceiling.
It does look like a church.
I think I found my favourite bit.
Your favourite of the whole garden?
I think so.
What is it? Oh, wow.
Davy, thoughts?
That's not bad.
Is that wisteria?
Yes,
Beautiful.
that's the Wisteria floribunda.
It's got the statue at the end.
Yeah, it's got the walkway.
Steps, it's got the urn. It's got the wall.
It's got it all,
wisteria.
hasn't it? It's got it all.
And yellow azaleas.
Here's the back of those yellow azaleas.
It's very nice, especially with the pink. And then
Yes.
with the
You see the
white
wisteria in the
back.
background. Okay, we're back on our path to find the herb garden through the shade garden. I think this, actually, I love even more than your favourite bit.
Seriously?
Yes, I love this. Oh, gosh. And at the end, we've just found the lake.
Or a
Well, moat. Part of the moat. This is a thyme lawn.
yeah, you can use it in as replacement for an actual lawn. Requires
Oh,
a
it
lot
must
less upkeep
smell good as
if
you walk on
over
it.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea. Well, the thyme lawn has really set the scene for what's coming next. The herb garden.
I like how with the hedge it looks like they're supporting the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
here, look at this. This is the opposite of the other bench that we saw. Here, it's a chamomile cushion.
Yeah.
So the scent when you sit on it must be lovely.
Yeah, you can actually, if you rub it gently, you can smell it.
So instead of the other bench, where the living part was the structure and then there was a wooden seat, here we've got a stone structure and a living seat. Oh, all these ideas to take back to Lalande. And we left our umbrellas at the entrance, so I think we need to get back fairly soon because it's definitely starting to rain. Well, I can confirm that the gardens look just as lovely in the rain as in the sunshine. We've had both today. Davy and Philip have run off ahead, but I just can't bring myself to rush. I'm savouring every moment, even the way these lovely plants are growing out of the steps. Everything is delightful. I just don't want to leave. Aha! They have retrieved the umbrellas. A knight in shining armour is approaching.
And I should save you from the rain.
Thank you. Goodbye, Sissinghurst. It has been lovely and inspirational. Seeing something that is the creative vision of two people who had a very different idea of gardens. Harold Bloom was so interested in the structure of the garden, and his wife was the most perfect, brilliant planter who understood which plants enjoyed which soil, which part of the gardens, and could put colours together. It shows that together, people can be greater than the sum of their parts. And that's certainly true of the gardens at Lalande, which are being transformed thanks to Davy's vision, the dedication of our gardeners, and the incredible generosity of my patrons. Thank you so much to all of you.